beer, sports. Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States. Over to you, boys.
Hey everybody, what's happening? What's good with you? Guys Beer Sports back again. Sean from Toronto today, where he comes from. And I am Brad Tesh. I come from Whidbey Island. So Sean Valancourt in Toronto, Brad in Whidbey Island, which is
covering it all across North America. This is awesome.
Most of North America. We're not going to recognize some of those southern states today. They can be on their own. Sean, good morning. Good afternoon.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah. It's been a great day. Lots to talk about.
Been a couple weeks since we talked. We took a little time off there as we celebrated the American Thanksgiving. I understand you were on travel, so that's good for you.
Well, my wife's an American, so it just made sense in order to go down to a very American place in Ohio, Bellevue, Cleveland, and Toledo, all across those areas there.
Very
Brad.
American places, Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. Welcome to you. Just coming to America,
buddy. I was walking through any place, Ohio, there, and masks are optional. I was like, this is like what pre-pandemic felt like. I do like though that it was just I was walking around maskless, and it was like literally the honor system. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, but if you're not,
kind of like going commando, right?
Sort of. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
But
you should probably have your underwear on, but you don't. But
yeah, but it was real comfortable, sort of still without the underwear. Where sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Well, that's why the importance of grooming is so critical, right?
Hey, we have a lot to talk about this week. I wanted to get into a little bit of NHL. Leon Draisaitl's right now 21 goals in 22 games. Does he have a chance at 50 and 50? We haven't seen that in a long time. We'll discuss that. Also, NFL going into week 13. Coin flip, everybody. Nobody knows what's going on there.
I a little bit wanted to talk about Major League Baseball free agency, but now they're locked out. Screw them.
They're locked out. And I know why you want to talk about them, Brad. And let's just start with that. Let's start with that.
I'm not giving them any airtime until they're back.
Let's start with that, Brad.
Nope. I'm standing in solidarity with the players and the officials and all those folks, and screw the owners. We'll talk about them when they're back on.
All right, we'll do that. But I'm still very upset with your team.
I'm very upset that you used our Facebook page to post an image of the Texas Rangers and then a slap in my face. You couldn't even use a picture of the player that you were saying goodbye to. You had to use the Texas Rangers photo. What are you doing?
We barely knew him.
Change the password. I'll take all your self-promotion and all. This is what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. But that crosses the line. I almost changed the password. You're on notice.
That was a bridge too far, eh?
You're on notice. You do that shit again, I'm changing the password.
Hey, don't forget to come visit us on our Facebook page or either Guys Beer Sports or guys.beer.sports on Facebook. You'll find us. It's a fun time. We put a lot of stuff up
there. Instagram, Twitter. We check all those things. We banter back and forth. So if you got something to say, let's go. We like to engage with y'all and we appreciate you. Let's get to it.
Man. So, all right, let's jump into the NHL right now. So, hey, your Kraken's on a roll right now. I think they've won 3 games since we've talked last.
Yeah, they just beat the
Are you happy? Except for the Leafs. Leafs are on a roll, buddy. I told you about that. You didn't want to believe me. They are the hottest team in the NHL. Right now, the record proves it, but that's not what I wanted to talk about right now. I could talk about the Leafs.
Thanks to the Kraken, because they went and beat the other 3 hottest teams in the league.
Dude,
the only reason that Toronto is even the hottest team in the league is because they didn't play the Kraken yet.
Is that it?
It seems to be. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'll tell you this: the Kraken.
I'll wait.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. I just wanted to congratulate the Kraken first off that they beat their first divisional rival in Edmonton last night, and that's not an easy thing to do. Not when you have two of the best players on the ice right now, Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. But let's get back to your Kraken. I do think you have a case there. I think you have a case. Seattle's been beaten up on teams, Vancouver, Montreal, Edmonton. So a couple of bottom feeders and a top team, right? So,
I mean, we went to Carolina, we went to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? That's true. I forgot about Carolina. You know what? Tampa Bay, whatever. But Tampa Bay was a Stanley Cup champions, but Carolina is pretty hot. You went in there and you beat them. So, I mean, okay. All right. Let's give Seattle their due. Let's give them their due.
What is the two teams that were more hot than your Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah, Florida.
By the Seattle Kraken. So
Florida and Carolina. So right now the Leafs are definitely they should send them some sort of gift to Seattle, eh?
I think you just give them the respect they're due. How about that?
Well, I heard you complaining about them just a little bit earlier on. It's like, hey, man, hockey is all ebbs and flows. You know, your 3 goals a game is not bad. It's just that if you want to win consistently, you got to be doing that. And your goaltending. I think those boys
those boys look like they finally figured out defense and how to get that break going. And so, I mean, it just took a little bit for them to gel. I mean, they're finding their legs still a little bit, but the goaltending's been better, which, because that back end's got a little more shored up. And so,
yeah, I think that was your biggest problem, really, with your back end there, your goaltending. But because
you got to take care of that back end.
Yeah, because honestly, when you look at the talent that's on Seattle, it's a great team on paper. That's a team that should make some sort of playoff wave, right? But it just so happened.
I think they will now after watching the last 2 weeks. I was just a little bit down the first 2 weeks but again, a lot of games left to be played, so we're still
lots of games. You still got
not ready to crown anybody yet. We still have to play the game,
But that was a great victory over Edmonton, number 2 team in your division. You needed that, so that was great. Yeah. Having spoke about this, as we stated there, currently Leon Draisaitl is looking at 21 goals in 22 games. 21 goals in 22 games. He's got 43 points on this young season. Connor McDavid's right behind him with 42. But Connor's not touching that record there that we haven't seen since 19. So think about this. 1995 is the last time that anybody's ever seen something similar to 50 goals in 50 games, which was done by Mario Lemieux, 95-96 season. He did it in the 72nd game of the Pittsburgh Penguins games there the season. But the thing is, though, is that because he was injured during the first half, he still did 50 goals in 50 games. Like Cam Neely's done that. There's some people that did that. That was just something.
Do we know that it was his first 50 games? Can we confirm?
It was his first 50 games, not the teams, but his.
That counts.
Yeah.
That counts.
It counts, right? Yeah, it should. It should count. Officially, 50 goals in 50 games. The last person to do it in the actual 50 and 50 is Brett Hull in 92. But I'm going to give it to Mario Lemieux. Why not? I mean, he did 50 goals in 50 games in his
50 consecutive games. Did he miss the first 22?
Yeah, actually, he did it in 48 games. 50 goals in 48 games.
So he missed the first 24 games, and then
that's it. And then just blew up.
What a bunch of pansies did not count that record as the official one. He smoke-checked it in 48 games.
It should be. It should be because you still did it in 48 games. The fastest, of course, is Wayne Gretzky, but I mean, I don't think anybody's going to touch that there. 50 goals in 35 games, like that's insane. You're not going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, 39 games. He did it in 39 games. 50 goals in 39 games, 42 and 49. He did it 3 times. Isn't that crazy though? He did it 3 times in his career. Mario's probably done it, 3 times in his career. Brett Hall's done it twice.
Why doesn't Mario get the love that he should?
I think he gets the love. I think actually, if you were to talk about it, I think critics talk about Gretzky, and fans love Mario. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
I always hear when it comes to fans, like you talk to fans and everything, and I mean, everybody's always going to acknowledge Gretzky, but if you want to look at somebody that, you know, people just love because he played on this team, he really was the catalyst for that team, it would be Mario Lemieux, where Wayne Gretzky was on really a good team when you think about it, with Mark Messier and all those with Paul Coffey, Grant Fuhr. Where Mario, it was just Mario, and then Jaromir Jagr came into, and then Paul Coffey was traded over there. So they ended up building a great team, but it was just pretty much like Mario the whole entire time.
Where is Mario from? Where is he from?
Quebec.
Hmm.
Yeah, he played in the QMJHL. So you have a look at that there too. It's like so many great players have come out of both the Q and the OHL as well. But Leon Draisaitl is, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's European, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not that he wouldn't be the first European guy, because I believe that would go to Alexander McGillney. Yeah, he's German. He's German. Can you believe that, buddy? So Leon Draisaitl's literally on this
As
quest.
somebody who is clearly German with a German last name, I can 100% believe a German is capable of setting records.
That's not what I said. And
that is what you said. When you go back and listen to it, you'll be like, oh shoot.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Can you believe a German is doing this? Yeah, 100% do.
In the NHL, in hockey, it's hard to believe Europeans.
I believe that Germans can do whatever they want in the arena.
Now all of a sudden, I feel like I sound like Don Cherry. All of a sudden, it's just
you do a little bit, and that's kind of par for the course. You're the one always trying to stretch these patriotic boundaries.
Hey, I mean, unbelievable. I'm rooting to see that, even though it's another Canadian team that could possibly be in the finals. It's scary. But
listen to this sans masculinity that you're talking about here.
What are you talking about?
I'm scared in the first quarter of the season another Canadian team is going to be better than mine.
All right,
Shut
I'll
off.
let you know.
I want you wear this Toronto Maple Leafs jersey to an NBA basketball game like you were doing some shit.
You saw that, eh? You like that?
Nothing frustrates me more than that. I can't. It's such virtue signaling for me when you wear a different sport jersey to other sport. You're like, I'm just here, but really my passion is.
But there was other people that were there that were wearing Cleveland Brown stuff. Like it was.
At least that's the same city.
Dude, that was funny stuff.
It's like wearing a shirt like out with a guy that's like you're going on guys' night out, and it's like you wear a shirt that says like, "My wife is the best, and I would be nothing without her." And you're like, okay, you got a wedding ring on. Like we all understand you're married. Like you have to wear this shirt that proclaims that too. Like how fragile is your fandom?
You wouldn't wear a shirt saying that? You wouldn't wear a shirt saying that?
No, I wouldn't. First of all,
I would be nothing without my wife.
No, I would not. Because listen. Here's the thing. When you're good, you'll tell everybody. When you're great, everyone else will do it for you. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't need to promote it. But it's probably a poor analogy. But the fact that you wore a hockey jersey that wasn't even that team to it. I mean, just wear a regular t-shirt. You should have worn your Cleveland Steamer shirt. You probably would have got a better reaction. It's like remember the guy that had the Pittsburgh Steelers hat on and the Seahawks jersey? Yeah. Like it's not that, but it's close.
Not even the same. Not even in the same. It is
because you had great seats. I mean, Jeremy wasted tickets on you because you showed up and you couldn't even be appropriate. Jeremy, next time I'll fly out, let me know. I'll buy some Cleveland stuff just to wear it.
Oh, I ended up buying a whole bunch. I bought a whole bunch of Cleveland gear. I have a whole bunch.
That doesn't surprise me at all. But you still didn't wear it when you could have.
Well, I was going to switch my jersey mid-game.
People do it all the time. You know how many times you go to a game and you see some dumbass that wore a dress shirt to a sporting event, which is like still better than you wearing that Toronto jersey to a Cleveland game? And they've got a jersey on over their dress shirt, and like they got the collar sticking through the thing, and their faux plaid arms hanging out of the bottom of this jersey, and it looks terrible, but they're celebrating. Watch any NBA game and look at the sideline and watch it how many dummies have these button-up shirts on and they put a jersey over the top of it, and that's still a better look than what you had rolling in there with your Maple Leafs jersey in a basketball arena. Terrible.
Man. Yeah. All right. So we got off a little topic there, but it was good. I think I needed
That wasn't off topic. That was on topic.
that was interesting. Speaking
It's
about the
almost as
NBA,
bad. It's almost as no. Let's not even talk about the NBA right now. Let's talk about something else. This is almost as bad as you accusing me of slew-footing somebody.
Oh,
That
wait a
can't
second.
happen.
Wait. You didn't even know what slew footing means.
I know, and I was pretty sure I wasn't guilty of it. And guess what, Sean? I looked it up, and I'm not guilty of it.
You're not guilty of slew footing?
I've never stuck my forearm or elbow into someone's chest at the same time of kicking their legs out for anything while they're on ice skates. I have never done that.
Oh, that's
Ever in my
awesome.
entire life.
That's good. What about on the streets?
Well, no one's wearing ice skates on the street, so it doesn't matter. Right? It's only slew footing if you're on ice skates.
I love it. Yeah.
Otherwise,
No,
I
you're
have
not-
100% a move. It's
You're the one that ended up stating that I may have slew footed somebody because Marshawn just got caught slew footing.
Listen,
There's a lot of slew footing
you
that
can't
ended up
make
going up.
accusations in the group chat that Brad did something, or I'm going to respond. You got to use full name.
Dude, what do you think of Golden State's? We're moving on to NBA now. I think you got your digs in. What do you
I'll
think?
probably bring it back around, just knowing me. But let's go. Let's jump to the NBA.
What do you think? What do you think of Golden State's run right now? 19-3. They look like Golden State of old. They look great.
Yeah, and they're about to get Klay Thompson back.
Which, yeah, then what, you just go meteoric? Them
Well,
and the Phoenix Suns.
Here's the thing that I think people gloss over when you think about Klay Thompson. You think about how great of a shooter he is in the offense. He's a better defender for that team than they've had. Their defensive struggles have all coincide with Klay Thompson being out. So they're only going to be a better defensive team, which is scary.
That is scary.
Right? I mean, you look at, we saw the Phoenix Suns set a franchise record for consecutive wins.
Yes.
All right. The last game they had played, against Golden State, they had, beat
17?
them. Yeah, to go to 17.
Yeah.
And then they played them again last night, Friday, December 3rd. And, Golden State puts it on them by 20 points to snap that streak.
That's it.
Steph Curry looks healthy.
And it's funny. Yeah, because Steph Curry only had 12 points in that one game against them. And then
Gary Payton Jr., right? Which just, him playing for Oakland, which is his daddy's hometown.
Gary Payton the second. Gary Payton the second.
Thank you, Sean. Yes.
That's one beyond the junior.
Yep. Is that how it works?
I think so, yeah. There's juniors and there's, you would think, right? It's junior, the second, the third, the fourth. I believe that's how it works. You should ask George Foreman. He would know.
I always thought that you could say the second or junior. I didn't think there was a formal thing to play through it, but
I think so. We should definitely inquire with George Foreman's family.
I'll send him a letter this week.
Yeah. Everybody is George Foreman in that family.
Everybody.
Dude, yeah.
You can talk about levels of confidence, like naming your daughter George is up there.
You know what I can't believe?
One daughter, it's pretty fantastic.
So in the West, besides the Warriors and the Suns in the NBA, right? The West, you got teams that can play for the play-in that are, as of right now, that are under 500, right? The East, it's crazy. If you want to make the play-in currently as of right now, you got to be above 500.
We're still talking about early in the season. I mean,
we are, but it's just so crazy when I look.
But here's the question, and I think it's been this way in the the conference split is, where's the favorite?
It's still in the West as it is right now.
Yeah, it's still. I mean,
maybe Brooklyn. Maybe you could say Brooklyn, but
maybe.
But
are you confident? I'm not.
I'm not either. And the Bulls look good.
Yep.
The Heat are always good.
Yep.
The Bucks are surprisingly.
But if they turn it on, they're good, right? The Celtics, if they get they get their injuries all sorted out and get back to playing, they're good. Philly's got a chance to be good. But
look where the Cavaliers are sitting.
do you pick any of those teams in, like, say, top 9 in the East, right?
Yeah.
Do you in a 7-game series?
Yeah.
Do you pick any of them over the Suns or the Warriors right now? I think
Over
the
the
top 2 teams
Suns?
are in the West.
Over the Suns, I mean, I might pick the Nets or the Bucks just because, yeah. But man, you bring Golden State into that. I don't know. I think Golden State's got horses that they can run with. You know, they got horses they can run with.
They got stallions, right? Like that.
Yeah. I think that they would. Yeah, it would be out shooting
Jordan Poole. Gary Payton II.
Wiggins.
Yep.
Ugh,
Toscano, all those guys, those are their bench guys now. And that's a second unit that's going to come in and destroy other teams' second units.
And then you got your leadership with Draymond Green, and you got Iguodala. I mean, yeah, you got Steph. Well, it's hard to believe even the Steph Curry now would be one of those leaders because he's been around so long already. Right. Probably going to be the greatest 3-point shooter of all time.
Probably. I think he is.
Probably already, right?
I love Reggie Miller and Larry Bird. Like, don't get it twisted, right? But man, Steph is doing things that those two guys.
It's like another dimension. It's another, it's unbelievable. I don't even know. Yeah, like when I look at the Nets, I would love to say that the Nets could probably do some things, but if you're going up against Golden State and it's in that finals, I don't know. There's
James Harden's on the slide, right? Can we agree to that?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
He's still a good player. He's not a great player.
Yeah.
And now with the rule change, he's
yeah. And Kevin Durant is still great. I mean,
but he's a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have so much tied up in other resources.
He still had to go to Golden State to win a championship.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it in OKC. He couldn't do it anywhere else. He had to go somewhere.
Can I tell you what made me the happiest this week?
Go ahead, tell me.
Oklahoma City losing by 73 points. It couldn't happen to a better fan base or ownership group.
You don't hold any sort of grudges, don't you?
Down by 50 at the half. Closing at 73 in the deficit column.
You know what I can't believe, though?
Congratulations.
They're better. They're actually better than the Magic and the Pistons.
Yeah, those two teams haven't lost by 73 points combined. So to the Memphis Grizzlies, not to Golden State, not to Brooklyn or Miami or the Chicago Bulls, who are a fantastically fun team to watch.
Aren't they?
Man, I love watching Chicago Bulls basketball. Right
I do too.
Bulls it takes you back to the early 90s. It takes you back to the 90s, right? When we would all tune in to watch the Michael Jordan Bulls play.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been this excited since then. Man, they're just such a fun team.
Yeah. No, they're amazing to watch. But look at the Hawks. The Hawks fell right off. I mean, Celtics fell off a little bit. Cavaliers look good. They're middle of the pack right now. I mean, that's with Kevin Love coming off the bench. It's like
the only person who the only person who should be traded more than Kyrie Irving right now is Kevin Love.
Who's going to take that? I don't know.
Exactly. No one's taking either one of those guys right now. But from a helping your team standpoint, that's 1A and 1B for fixing it up.
All right.
For two very different reasons, but
all right. We're going into week 13 of this NFL season.
That we are.
Last week, I don't know. It was appalling to watch Thanksgiving games.
Some bad football last week.
And
yet
Seahawks,
there we were.
Watching it. Your Seahawks cannot buy a game, cannot buy one.
I would like to propose this to the group. Russell Wilson had a mental conditioning coach right? Do we know this story?
Yeah.
Famously, someone that he worked with pre-draft, worked with his entire career. His name is Trevor Moawad. Very inspirational. Trevor talks to all these. He helps Alabama football, Florida State football, all these college basketball teams, professional basketball teams, right? He's a motivational guy, trying to help you find the mental edge, right? Basically lives with Russell Wilson in the offseason, visits him every week of the NFL season, and they have a schedule of visualization and getting his mind right and all these things, right? Trevor tragically passes away of cancer earlier this year. I want to say,
yeah,
deep in the preseason, or week 1 or week 2, right?
Okay.
You watch Russell Wilson play, and there's clearly a gap. And I wonder how much the loss of who was known to be Russell Wilson's best friend and mental coach is having on Russell Wilson. Because, and here's what snapped me into this. There's been something wrong with Russell all year, even pre-finger injury, right? But we saw a flashback to like a 2012 Russell Wilson in that last drive against the Redskins, where he went 90 yards for the touchdown. He did not care that he threw an incompletion. He just was robotic Russell Wilson. No emotion, didn't celebrate that touchdown, was on to the next one, even though they failed that 2-point conversion. But that was a snap back in. I'd be very, very curious to see this weekend against the San Francisco 49ers if old Russell's back or if that was just a blip in his programming. But it's not lost on me that maybe that's Russell's hitch.
That's interesting. That's a great point. I think that anytime you lose somebody that's been part of your life that helped you get ready for things, maybe you said mental conditioning. That's huge for athletes, persona, everything, right? I mean, you think about it, George St. Pierre had to go to a psychologist in order to get over that loss, that's big stuff. And so maybe it is affecting him.
I can just tell you right now that their routine was Saturday night. They would spend an hour or two talking through the game plan and visualizing and watching old film of comebacks and big moments that Russell had. He would get his sleep. He would wake up the next morning, and then him and Trevor would have another 45-minute session where they would talk through, expected behavior.
Yeah.
I just wonder if that's in there.
I think you got that. I think you got the whole entire, I want to get traded because nobody did anything for me in Seattle. I think you got Pete Carroll, who's beyond his prime. I think you got many things. Like,
up until last week, I was very either, depending on my mood, was very, let's blow it up, kick them all out, or I was team Pete. I would say now, I think I'm firmly in the let's move on from the coaching staff and keep Russell Wilson to see if we can fix this thing.
Because there's something wrong somewhere, right?
Although there was a rumor this week that the Giants are considering offering their 2 top 10 draft picks this year for Russell Wilson, and I would take that deal in a heartbeat. So,
would you? Yeah, eh?
Yeah, I think the way to win in the league this year or now, and this is not going to be good news for you in your division, is that you have a young quarterback on a team-friendly deal that isn't taking up a half of the cap, and you're spending that money on defense and other weapons.
Yeah, but that's everywhere in sports. I mean, that was Seattle's whole entire ingredient.
Yes,
was having Russell.
And I would
Wilson
love to get back to it. I would love to get back to it. I would like to take Russell's $35 million and pay a young kid $2 million and spend that $33 million on defense.
That's why you went to 2 Super Bowl finals, because,
and it's why New England is getting better right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Mac Jones, wow, unbelievable. And yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Thing is, though, is that the whole new coaching staff, whole new everything. What quarterback is going to, what quarterback's going to do that for you as a rookie, though, going in? I just don't know. Like,
yeah, they're not. But if you're going to rebuild. Like, let's go.
Interesting. I mean, I'm not totally disagreement with you because Seattle's got a problem. They got to do something.
We saw this as a fan base. We saw this with Mike Holmgren.
Yeah.
And
that's years ago. Wow.
Transitioned away from Matt Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander and kept Mike Holmgren around, and we started to see some of the same, like third and long. It was always a draw play for Mike Holmgren, and we saw that. And now like third and long for Pete Carroll's a screen pass. Like there's just some things that and as an organization, you can hang on a year or 2, 3 too long to a coach, trying to think that they'll find their magic. I think that Pete Carroll's lost his magic, and I think it's time to move on.
I mean, look at other coaches that have won Super Bowl titles that really have they don't care. They move on from you. It's like the only coach I think you don't move on from really is Bill Belichick. That's one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why though? Because he reloads so fast. Like last year was a down year for them, but it wasn't a big down year for them. Like
no, they were almost 500 last year.
Yeah, and that was their down year, and then all of a sudden now they're back right up on top where they had been for the previous 18 years. Okay, that's But scary. You're talking about a generational coach. I mean, he's chasing down. I mean, I was doing the math this week, thinking about where Bill Belichick sits all-time wins. Which is behind Don Shula. I believe that he's 42 wins behind Don Shula.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think you could catch him.
Then George Halas is in there also. But when you think about that, 42 wins, that's 4 seasons of less than average football play from a Bill Belichick team for him to be the all-time winningest coach. One, I don't know how Bill Belichick isn't still coaching in 4 years. Right? Yep. He's not frail. He's not,
nope,
on his way out. And then 2, how I don't see them being losers. I think if he averages 10 wins over the next 4 years,
he's got all the building blocks. All the building blocks.
He's got them all in place. He's got it in there. All right. I feel gross. Let's move on to the games. This is too much New England love.
All right. Let's go with. Do you mind if I call him and we'll just go from there? Yeah. All right.
Sounds good. To call him.
All right. So the Cowboys and Saints happen. Boring. Who didn't see that one happening, right? Cowboys.
Listen. The New England. God bless America.
Wow.
Reed Craig Homer, I love you. I'm sorry that I hate your team this much. The New Orleans Saints had every opportunity to win that game.
They did.
Twice.
Yeah.
Dallas was down 5 coaches. Dallas has problems with the virus right now. That's just the way it is. But Dak Prescott did not look good against the banged up defense. Zeke Elliott's got a real problem, right? Physically, he's got something going on.
Yeah.
That knee injury he has wouldn't surprise me if it's a bigger deal. Maybe he has a little scope clean out in the off season or something. He's fighting through some things. Great. Good for him to be tough and to push through it, but he is not who we know him to be. So, not a surprise that Dallas won necessarily, given, what the Saints are walking out there, but watching that game, I really feel like New Orleans had that game to go. A terrible crackback block call in the third quarter that just derailed New Orleans of some momentum right there. You really just kind of watch that game turn. And then Taysom Hill having those turnovers at the end was just, peak New Orleans.
Why in the world were you playing Trevor Siemian for all those weeks? You should have been playing Taysom Hill, period.
Well, Taysom Hill had a concussion and couldn't play, so.
That's true, but I don't know. Hey, tell.
It's like we're like, why would the Seahawks play Geno Smith for 4 weeks when you have Russell Wilson?
Tell me something. Do you think New Orleans is a totally different team with Jameis Winston in there?
Yeah,
because I personally think so.
I think that you would still see Jameis throw 4 touchdowns or 4 interceptions, but he would also probably throw 5 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah. Like
right before interceptions better be a win.
Totally different team.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Colts and the Texans in Houston. Can they get Tyroded again? The Colts.
Texans have 2 wins. They're at home. It's a division game. You'd think they would do something. I don't know that they have an answer for Jonathan Taylor. You're watching Jonathan Taylor do some historic things. We can't overcome that.
It's insane, right? Yeah, because it's not their quarterback. It's not anything like that.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor covers up for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Excuse me, who is slowly becoming who we know him to be. Excuse me. I got the hiccups all of a sudden. I get too excited about New England Patriots now.
So I'm saying it's going to be the Colts beat the Texans.
The spread is 10 points, Sean.
Yeah. And that's, 10 points and they're visitors? That's pretty significant.
Yeah, we've covered before. The average is, you get 2.5 just for being the home team.
Just for being the home team, yeah.
Right, so it's almost a 2 touchdown push the other way. You think
That's
about
crazy.
from a betting
Yeah.
perspective.
No, I think it's going to be Indianapolis as well. They're in the playoff hunt too, so I think they're on the outside of it right now.
They've got to
so-
win. They have to win to keep pace.
Yeah.
They're going to win that division probably, but they're not going to. They got to not be just division winners. They've got to have a real record to be.
Well, they were like the big old, darlings of the AFC. originally.
Well, you know what wins playoff games and ultimately championships?
What's that?
Defense
It does, yes.
and a solid running game.
Yeah, I have to give.
That Colts defense is pretty good. I don't know if they're
Nothing.
championship good, but they're pretty good. And that rushing
Nothing.
attack is enough to get it to go. So they've got a shot. I mean, ultimately, do you trust Carson Wentz to not turn the ball over in a big moment? I don't.
Yeah, his only Super Bowl ring is from Nick Foles. Thank you, Nick. That's all. That's it. I don't know. I agree with you. It's hard to believe. We got the Vikings and the Lions. So the Lions trying to keep. I'd say the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings would beat them, but the Lions really can't afford to be winning games right now if you want to get your number 1 draft pick.
Listen, I'll just say this about this whole thing: is Minnesota's going to win, right?
Yeah.
Detroit's defense is atrocious, especially against the pass. Dalvin Cook is not going to play. Kirk Cousins is hot, and you have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. Kirk Cousins is going to throw for 400 and 3 touchdowns, and they're just going to win going away.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big win too for Minnesota. And Minnesota's trying to keep on pace as well, right? Like, I think they're the number 2 team in the division. So,
Chasing Green Bay, and they're not far out, right? I mean, that's the thing. So.
and I would not have given them any. I was not looking at Minnesota like to be in that race, but they're
Minnesota's
in that race.
always in. As long as you have Mike Zimmer as the coach, they're always
It's
in.
true, right? Yeah.
They've got a good defense, sneakily. Next.
And then we have, Giants and the Dolphins. Dolphins have won 3 in a row, so I don't see why it's not 4.
Yeah, I think Mike Glennon is going to start for.
Yeah, because I think Daniel
Giants.
Jones is out, right? So
Yeah, he's got a neck thing. I think they're trying to be safe with Daniel Jones. It's a hard thing with this time of year, right? We start to see those things. The one thing when I was looking at these games that was interesting to me is that Tua, right, who we routinely think of as not as a great up-and-coming quarterback, but in his last 2 games, he's completed 80% of his passes that, in the category where you consider 30 pass attempts to be the floor. Only 3 quarterbacks have ever done that twice in their back-to-back weeks, and that's Kyler Murray this year, and then it's Drew Brees in 2018 and Peyton Manning in 2013.
wow.
So he has a shot, and this Giants team is not great. He did complete 80% of his passes against them and do it for the 3rd time. That puts him in some rarefied air when you speak of what that is. I still think the Dolphins smoke the Giants, but
I do too. Do you think that the Dolphins even have a chance of making this postseason?
I think
3
stranger
in a
things
row.
have happened. Things have happened.
Yeah.
You want to bet against Brian Flores getting hot right now?
Exactly.
And that team had so much off-season garbage, and there's always, conversations about Deshaun Watson being traded.
Yeah, I was just
there.
gonna say, forget about off-season. Like
And your best,
right in the season.
your best cornerback wanted more money, and you have all
Yeah.
this turmoil and all this stuff, and all of a sudden, right now, mid-season, you're starting to gel, you're starting to get together. You know, Jalen Waddle's playing out of his mind.
Yep.
For a rookie.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's
that him and that Tua got that connection. I mean, that's the Alabama 1-2, right? And
that's it.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they make much noise in playoffs, right? But do I think they can make it? Absolutely.
No, but can they make it? Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. I think they can.
I totally agree with you. Yeah. All right, then we have the Bucks and the Falcons. I think the Buccaneers are all over the Falcons. They're taking it to them.
Yeah, it's a division game.
Falcons are not going to show up, but let's face it, they haven't been that great.
I think that Tom Brady has a mental advantage over Matt Ryan anyway. So
after that Super Bowl,
yeah, I think Atlanta ultimately loses by double digits. I just like to say that it'll be fun, but I think
here's points up.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this: do you think that Rob Gronkowski is a certified first ballot Hall of Famer as a tight end?
No.
Okay, let me tell you this. He is one game short of he has 30 career games with 100 plus receiving yards. Right? Which is a lot for a tight end.
That is a lot. Yeah.
He is one touchdown shy of matching Isaac Bruce for 12th all time in receiving scores. And Isaac Bruce is the first ballot Hall of Famer. Yeah. So 31 career games with 100 plus receiving yards is the Tony Gonzalez tight end mark in NFL history.
Man,
so Gronkowski, with one more 100-yard game, ties Tony Gonzalez for most 100-yard games by a tight end. Yeah. And with one more touchdown, he is 12th all-time in receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Tony Gonzalez and who he's played under. Okay, as with a quarterback, and look who he has played Gronkowski with.
What does that matter?
Career.
What does that matter?
You have the greatest quarterback. Yeah, throwing it to you. Come on.
Hey, where did Michael Jordan's kids go to college?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Florida A&U for basketball and one didn't. So let's throw out the whole, you're lucky that you had this influence. You think Michael Jordan's kids couldn't be better basketball? They could have at least played D1 basketball? Couldn't.
Okay.
You think Gronkowski doesn't catch passes from someone other than Tom Brady? I mean,
no, I'm not saying that, but I mean,
you are saying that. Tony Gonzalez
I am.
Matt Ryan for 8 years.
Yeah. And then before that, he was in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, catching passes from Trent Green.
Who's Trent Green?
Tom Brady's daddy in 1999.
I guess. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I think you just hate Gronkowski because he's big as you are, but he's more fun. I think that's what
I like Gronk. I just think he walked away and went to the WWE for a little bit there, and I'm just like, what's he doing? What's this guy doing?
Oh, that's what it is. Now we've come full circle.
What's this guy doing? He was a 24/7 champ.
Sean, did you ever want to be a 24/7 champ?
Who didn't? All right, let's move on.
It all makes sense.
Oh,
all makes sense.
All right, we got Eagles and the Jets. Eagles are gonna beat the Jets.
Oh, this is such a gross.
It's not a great game. It's disgusting.
This game is gross. Yeah. Let me tell you this. This is all you need. So outside of the Jets being atrocious, which they are, right?
Yeah.
I want it from a fantasy football perspective, and this even matters for just statistics, okay? 100 and 100.5% of Jalen Hurts' fantasy points over the last 2 weeks have been on the ground. You want to know why it's more than 100%?
Why is that?
Because he has negative passing points in the last 2 weeks.
That's really bad. That's really bad. Yeah. But they're playing the New York Jets, which is...
I know. They're still going to win. They're going to win by a touchdown. And this might be the grossest game of the week.
Oh. It's pretty ugly. It's pretty ugly. Next one we got here, Cardinals and the Bears. Kyler Murray's back.
That's what it sounds like. And D-Hop. DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that's right. He's
also
back too. He's back too. Yeah. And then Justin Fields is back for perhaps as well. So.
Maybe, yeah. Interesting to me that, Robert Quinn is the Bears rusher, and he has been historically slow this year. And then as soon as Khalil Mack goes on injured reserve, Robert Quinn just steps up all of a sudden. Now he's back to this, magician getting quarterback sacks. It's wild to me.
Yeah. I think the Cardinals win this. They were looking good without Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, winning 2 out of the 3 games.
They were.
Now you got them in there. I don't know.
Let's just move on. It makes it.
All right.
The only thing that will save me is if Cliff Kingsbury does take this Oklahoma coaching job that's opened up.
Yeah.
And ditches Arizona for Oklahoma. That's the only thing.
You think it's going to happen?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Oh wow. Well, that'll be the end of Arizona.
Cliff always wanted to be a part of Oklahoma. That's all he ever wanted. And I think that he thinks that if he, he's charming enough and pretty enough that he gets on a college campus, he can, stay there forever. And then there's also this other piece here. So Lincoln Riley was the coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, who famously left this week for USC for an ungodly amount of money and benefits. Like, it's sick what he got. It's unbelievable. All that to be said, what Lincoln Riley made last year for the Oklahoma Sooners, which was $7.5 million, is $1.5 million more than the Cardinals are paying Cliff Kingsbury.
That's crazy, eh? Wow. Yeah, but that
so
just tells
you think about from a job, right, where you got a little more rope as a college coach than you do as a NFL coach, and you can go make $1.5 million more. And if you're telling me that no one cares about $1.5 million, you're wrong, because he's only making 6. 7.5 is something that piques your radar. If they pay him 8, if they pay him 9, you think that Cliff Kingsbury stays? And like the college right now is the landscape is these 10-year deals averaging $9 or $10 million. You tell me that a guaranteed $100 million doesn't move the needle for Cliff Kingsbury to go back to college football? It 100% moves the needle.
It just makes me a little sick though that the coaches getting paid that much in college, but meanwhile they're still not giving these athletes anything. It's just
athletes can sign athletes. This is the year athletes can sign endorsement deals finally for the first time.
Yeah.
You got some guys making. Yeah. You got some college kids making, more money than you and I make right now because they're better athletically than we are. So.
Yeah, that's good for them.
Yeah, I think it's gross to pay a college coach that much, but it's booster money, right? And that's just the thing.
It is, yeah.
Like Lincoln Riley's deal. I'll just give you the highlights of it, and we'll get back to these games because I know I'm off topic. But Lincoln Riley's deal, I forget how much it is annually because that wasn't it was a big number, but it wasn't like stupid. It was like $12 million a year, which is a lot of money, but it's not a lot. Lincoln Riley owned 2 houses in Norman, Oklahoma, right? So you would imagine were nice houses for a guy that made $7 million. USC gave him $500,000 more than the value of each home, so plus $1 million, and bought his homes or paid his homes off plus $1 million in Oklahoma, right? They are allowing him a blank check for coaching staff, which is insane. They gave him $6 million for a home in LA. And they give him and his family 24/7 access to a private plane.
This is crazy, dude. This is crazy. Everything you just
and that's
stated
just what we
crazy.
know. That's just what we know. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even think he's that good of a football coach. We think Lincoln Riley, right? Like, is he top 5 college coaches?
Not in my mind. Not in my mind. I don't know. They must think it's something. I don't know. That's crazy. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Anyway,
yeah, I guess he did. Yeah. All right. That was completely off topic. It was very good.
Well, kind of, sort of, right? But let's just say, like, Cliff Kingsbury going to Oklahoma to be the head coach is not far-fetched. Let's just say that.
No, I like it. Brad, nice points. All right. This is my game of the week, by the way. Chargers and the Bengals.
Oh man, if you would have said doing in Buffalo, I was going to just
No.
off.
Chargers, Bengals, two second-year quarterbacks going at it. I love it. It's a great game. I mean, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, this is one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Two explosive offenses, two pretty good defenses.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of records, Joe Mixon's on a historic pace right now.
Yeah.
He is one of, looks like, two running backs, he's the third running back to have a multiple touchdown streak in 4 straight games.
That's
the longest
incredible.
in Bengals history.
Yeah.
The only other running back to do it in 5 straight games is Alvin Kamara last year, or 2 years ago, I guess, the 2019 season, which was crazy. And previously, the record holder is LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 with 8 straight.
And that's the year that he broke the record there for touchdowns for a running back?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Joe Mixon on a historic pace as a Bengals running back.
That's crazy.
So you think about that? You think about Austin Eckler for the Chargers and what he can do? Wouldn't be surprised if he gets 200 plus yards in total offense, receiving and running. I'd like this game to be high scoring. I think
high scoring.
Bengals in a nail biter, right?
I think so too.
Late field goal, something like that.
Yeah, but I can go Chargers field goal as well.
100%. I think this is a home team pick, right? Like,
yeah,
if this game was in LA, it's the Chargers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I have to agree with you on that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Probably, I agree with you. It's probably the best matchup of the week.
I think so. To me, it just stands out. Okay. Then we have the Rams. Time to right this ship, boys. You're getting the Jaguars at home.
What a better opportunity than playing Jacksonville at home.
Ever since you got OBJ on your team and Von Miller, how do you lose 3 in a row?
Well, you got gel. You can't discount that.
What?
Chemistry. It takes a little bit to gel in. But I'm just going to tell you this. If the Geno Smith-led Seahawks can beat Jacksonville 31-7 at home, I imagine the LA Rams could beat those Jacksonville Jaguars 52-3 at home.
Yeah, I think it's like a
I'm not saying that's the score. I'm just saying.
Yeah. This is a tee up. This is a tee up. Hey, get out of your funk. Go out there and win a game.
The blowout of the week alert.
Get out there and win a game there, Matt. Go do it.
I'm just going to have Urban Meyer calling all the open college coaching jobs to try to get one.
Apparently, I think he ended up stating this week earlier that he's not taking any coaching jobs.
You know who else did that?
Who's that?
Nick Saban when he was coaching the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Remember what happened the week after that?
Yeah.
For those that don't remember, Nick Saban got on a private jet in the Miami airport and went to Alabama, where he's stayed ever since. Can you tell that Urban Meyer didn't look at that Lincoln Riley deal and was like, damn it. That was my deal. Damn it, Lincoln. $10 million a year to live in Hollywood in a house you didn't pay for? Oh,
that's just crazy. Good. That's disgusting. I mean, is it disgusting as like LSU's new head coach there is Notre Dame's old coach?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Brian Kelly and they're going to guarantee you $80 million or whatever it is, how do you not do it? You're 60 years old. You're 60 years old and they're going to give you $9.5 million for 10 years or whatever the deal is. How do you not take it? I mean, I get, and the other thing, man, I know we're back to college football and that you don't follow it. I think college football is probably the same as your NHL for me. But
I follow college. I follow really the Big Ten, I guess, really is what I follow.
But here's the thing. So then, so Brian Kelly takes his job. Brian Kelly had been at Notre Dame for 12 years, which is a long time for a coach. Yeah. The fun of this whole thing is I ended up watching, I caught the Notre Dame AD, and I forget what his name is, but he was on, his little thing, and he was like, you know what? I've been thinking about when Brian Kelly was going to off-ramp out of his program. He's been here 12 years anyway. We hadn't had any discussions, but I was definitely considering it, and just let him in. Was like, man, he's not that good of a coach. Like, I was like, man, the balls on this guy. Notre Dame is probably going to be the final 6 and vying for a national championship. You would think, right?
Yeah.
Still possible, which is wild to me because, so Notre Dame ends up naming, I think, their defensive coordinator as the head coach. They're keeping the staff intact, minus their head coach. And Notre Dame's going to have a shot to go to the college playoff. And then that guy, I think his name is Freeman. Coach Freeman's going to have a chance to win a championship in his first two games as head coach, which is
unbelievable.
Notre Dame's a good team, So anyway,
they are.
Back to NFL football.
All right, Washington football team against the Raiders. This is a good game too.
This is a good game. The matchup is interesting too because Jack Del Rio is on this Washington Redskins staff, and he's got a real hatred
Redskins?
Yeah, he's the defensive coordinator for whatever.
You mean the football team?
The WTFs or the WFTs, whatever. Every time I see the WFT, I always just read it WTF. But Jack Del Rio is the offensive coordinator for the WTFs, and so, but he's got some bad blood with that Raiders organization.
Because he was there.
And they dumped him for John Gruden, and he was winning.
That's right.
John Gruden
right.
Not John Gruden. Jack Del Rio is like the second winningest coach in Raider history. Excuse me. Behind Tom Flores. He got fired coming off a winning season.
Yeah, insane.
Him and David Carr, were real friendly. And so, no one knows him like he knows him.
I'm telling
what
you.
we talked about with, Ron Rivera and knowing Cam Newton and how to beat the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think, I think that this is a Washington football team. I don't know if it's an upset, but it's a win for them.
Can you call it an upset? I mean, they're in a playoff hunt. Like, I think they're right on the bubble of making the playoffs.
It's an upset only because it's, in Las Vegas and the Raiders have a 1-game better record. But I don't know if it's an upset. Maybe it's a coin flip.
Taylor Heineke is like coming out to becoming a really good quarterback. I mean, he's a really good quarterback.
Yeah, he's interesting for sure.
Anyway,
I can't decide if he's good long term or if he's like just good until they get the film on him. But either which way, right? He's good this year.
He's winning. Yeah, he's winning right now.
Maybe he's Trent Dilfer.
Maybe
all this being done without the WTF's best defensive player being out, Chase Young. So
yeah.
No,
I think Washington wins this. Yeah, I think it's
the spread is the Las Vegas Raiders getting 2.5 points at home, which means that
that's
a
just
favorite
exactly
to the football team. That wouldn't surprise me to watch the football team. How stupid is Daniel Snyder that we had to refer to his team as the football team? It's so dumb. It's almost arrogant in a way, right? That we're like, imagine if Toronto dropped Maple Leafs and they were just the hockey team, and so it was like, hockey team.
The hockey team.
So stupid. Any which way, I think they win by a touchdown. So.
Well, I think Dan Snyder's got bigger problems coming up here in the near future anyway with Congress. Yeah. Anyways.
He might be getting the Donald Sterling treatment. And deservedly so.
All right, off to the next team. Ravens Steelers. Yes, it's a divisional matchup. But I think the Ravens are spanking the Steelers because this is one of the most inconsistent teams I've seen in a long while.
Yeah, I think the Baltimore wins. I don't think that they bend the Steelers over their knee and give them a good old-fashioned whooping.
No? Yeah. I don't know.
Division game. You can't write these division games out like that. They're just, it'll be close. I think Baltimore wins and they win by between 3 and 7 points, which is a win, a solid win for them. I don't think it's ever in question, but a blowout is, it's hard.
I don't know. I mean, after that Cleveland game, I think I might go
in
along
Pittsburgh.
with you on that. Yeah,
it's in Pittsburgh, right?
And he threw 4 picks. I mean, they know each other
really well. With a lot of bad blood. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I was thinking at first, it's like, they're going to run all over them because like Pittsburgh is pretty.
Yeah.
What team
are Jekyll and Hyde? They're Jekyll and Hyde this year, right?
Yeah.
But man, in Pittsburgh,
Yeah, I'll go with that too. Field goal. I think that sounds about right. Yeah. Which reminds me, I mean, Niners Seahawks in Seattle. I think Seattle comes out with a win on this one. That's what I'm going with.
I like the way you think, Sean. Tell me why. Tell me more. Sweet talk.
Well, I think Russell might be finding his legs finally. You know what I mean? Like, I think he might be finding it. I think he just wants to put up some numbers. He wants to do something well. I know they must know that they're out of it. So let's play spoiler against San Fran. Why not? It's like that's exactly what I see. No love lost.
Yeah, mathematically they're not out of it, but they're might as well be. I think it's like a 1% chance to even make the playoffs. You're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying that Seahawks win by 7. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think this game is a coin flip based on the injuries that the San Francisco 49ers have. I mean, they're banged up in a lot of spots, so they got a lot of guys missing out. I don't know that you ever trust Jimmy Garoppolo on the road.
Yeah.
Seattle's going to be rowdy. I'll tell you one thing about Seattle fans is even though we're irritated, that's not going to bleed over into the fan interaction. And, coming into Seattle is not we've seen more losses at home this year, I think, than we've seen the last 3 seasons combined, which is hard, but they're going to be loud and vocal. I think that Seattle wins. I think it's a close game. It wouldn't surprise me to, watch some late Russell Wilson drive that wins by 2 or something. I think that's a possibility. So I imagine I will be very frustrated the first 3 3/4 quarters of this game.
Probably the fourth quarter for Russell.
Well, Sean, you don't win the game in the first, second, or third quarter. You win it in the fourth.
In the fourth. Very true. Very true.
Pete Carrollism, and it drives me crazy because I would much rather be Bill Belichick and just score a bunch of points and coast in the fourth quarter, but Pete likes it a different way. Yeah.
Hey, then we have the Broncos and the Chiefs, the Sunday night game. Chiefs turn it around, baby.
Yeah, what's fascinating about this game is that, I feel like Denver was on a hot streak and they were, making some moves defensively and they were going some places. And then all of a sudden, Kansas City just gets hot for a week or two. And all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, whatever. The Broncos. It's a 10-point game and they're in Kansas City. But they've got Patrick Mahomes.
I think maybe he's
back on. He's just back on.
I think, he's gotten to a good schedule with his new kid and everything. So he's got the schedule going. He's like, oh,
listen to this stat.
I'm getting some sleep.
Mr. Mahomes, right, has 48 touchdown passes in 19 primetime games.
Insane. Yeah, he's going to. Yeah.
That's the most since any quarterback's first 20 prime starts since 1950.
Crazy. No, they're putting a hurting on Denver. That's for sure. They're in Arrowhead. Yeah, that's a hurting going on. Yeah. All right, the Monday night game. All sorts of things tied into this. This is only the first meeting that is happening. And it's happening in Buffalo. The Bills and the Patriots. It's not for all the marbles yet, but this is definitely a very important game for that division. A very important game.
This might be for all the marbles.
They get to play each other.
I know that it's not. I know that it's not, but this is for momentum.
Absolutely. I mean, the Bills have let some games get away from them where this could be a totally different story. But they let some games get away from them, and now they're in this situation where they have to win these 2 against New England, and if they want to win the division,
they're looking up.
It's exactly it. Yeah. So I'm very curious. I would love to say we're going to beat New England. I hate New England, being a Bills fan. But I can't count New England out. You know what I mean? Now, am I going to say right now that Buffalo wins by a touchdown? Yes. Is that actually what's going to happen? I don't know. That's my honest take. That's it.
How big of a loss is Tre'Davious White to the Buffalo Bills defense.
It's huge. It's huge. That's not a small loss. That's big on your defense. It's big. Meanwhile, the Patriots just seem to be getting better and better every game. Mac Jones is getting better and better every game. The defense is looking better and better every
Mac
game.
Jones is getting scary by the game.
That's exactly it.
That kid has poise, man. He may not be the most athletically talented or whatever, and that kid's got some poise.
And
What
you know what?
skill.
Everything changed for Mac Jones after that game. I already said this once, and I'm going to say it again. After that game against Tampa, where they lost by just a little bit, just by a hair. But after that, I don't know. Like the afterburners went on, something clicked, and he's been
We belong.
unstoppable.
I think that he knew he belonged. I think we can argue that in all walks of life, your confidence boosts sometimes is highest after a loss.
Yeah.
That's
'cause you
something
learn
you
the
maybe
most.
think that you didn't. Yeah, because you maybe didn't think that you belonged, and all of a sudden you realize that you were closer than you thought, and it just takes
Yeah.
off. Man, Mac
Very,
Jones
very
looks
good.
Mac Jones looks good.
I like it.
Man, I don't know. I feel like it's a coin flip. I don't. What's the weather supposed to be like in Buffalo on Monday? Do you know?
On Monday,
I mean, I think that matters a little bit, but it's
absolutely.
maybe not as much. I don't
they're
fully.
both-
I'll say this about the New England Patriots right now: I don't fully trust their running game, and if it's a blustery, blizzardly, snowpack night, then maybe we'll see what Mac Jones is really made of. Because I don't know that. I think, neither team is really great on the rushing front right now, so that might drive some things down. But
Well, I mean, it's
if it's 40,
Celsius.
if it's 40 and clear,
Yeah.
so what?
So it's going to be around 11 degrees Celsius, which is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and rainy.
No problems there. So yeah, Sean, I think that your Bills lose by a field goal to the Patriots, but that's not.
I'm
even
going the other way.
flag.
I'm going 7 points for Buffalo, but
7 points.
Yeah, I'm going that way. I'm going big or go home. But I honestly, I'm not disagreeing with you. It could happen that way. It could be a 3-point loss.
Josh
Very
Allen has
easily.
thrown 7 interceptions in the last 4 games.
I know it's disgusting. It's absolutely I'm not convinced of what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just saying this as a fan. If I'm being realistic, it's a field goal either way.
Do you still think that Josh Allen is an MVP candidate?
No, that's all
Have you
Aaron
come,
Rodgers.
Have you come to your senses? Have you come to your senses?
Yeah, it's all Aaron Rodgers this year. Back to back MVPs. Yeah.
Not even consideration.
No. How can you? Come on. It's you lost some games that really you shouldn't have lost. Like you did. Tennessee, it's a coin flip. Maybe you don't go for it. That's a coach's mistake. But I mean, 9-6.
I love that call. I mean, I love that
It was a
call.
great
right?
call. It's
Yeah.
gutsy, right? But
Yeah. We applaud coaches for making those things. Even if they don't come out. Like, that's just the way it is.
But 9-6 to lose 9-6 to Jacksonville, like that's a team you need to beat. And then
I don't know. Have I said this before that my favorite stat of the year is that Jacksonville hadn't won a game on U.S. soil.
that was the one. 400 and something days. I know.
420 days.
Oh, look at
actually.
him. Look at him.
And the score was
Oh,
69, which is a double nice in the internet world. So
All right. I got a one-on-one question for you before
let's
we
see
go.
it.
All right. So, as we know, is the Eastern and Western CFL finals happening this weekend. This
Oh, they didn't happen already?
Nope,
Oh,
happening.
they
this
happened over Thanksgiving. Okay. Who's in it?
So right now we got Hamilton Tiger Cats against Toronto Argonauts, and that's in the early window on Sunday. And we have the Calgary Stampeders against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the West. rest of the late game. So, my question to you.
Hold on. Did you say this is championship weekend?
Well, conference finals, yeah. The Grey Cup is going to be the next one. Yeah. So, McLeod, Bethel Thompson, quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, was asked by his team to go to the Toronto Raptors game, him and a few other players, to represent the Argonauts for the upcoming championship, Eastern Championship game, right? So he went to the Raptors, was doing a little interview there. Next thing you know, he was in violation of CFL protocols for not isolating before the game. So they ended up saying that he has to isolate, I believe, for 4 days as opposed to the full 7, and missed 2 practices going into this finals weekend. What do you do? Because he even voiced his opinion to the team saying, hey, this is the biggest game of my career, and I don't want to go and promote the game. Forget about the protocols. He just didn't want to go promote it. He wanted to keep, mentally ready. And now they were getting poo-pooed. Hamilton ended up saying that it's not fair because most people would have to miss the whole week, but this is a this is a finals game. Do you think that the Argonauts should, rethink as to their promotion of things? Maybe send somebody else different, or do you think that Hamilton is right by saying that these guys are tier 1 guys and they're being treated differently?
I believe absolutely in equal rights for all and special rights for none.
Elaborate.
So I think Hamilton's right. I think that if they're giving him grace for if they're giving him grace for not being out on a technicality that's not written in the policy and procedure, I think it's garbage. Flat out garbage.
But he's the one that voiced it. He didn't want to go do it.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're not penalizing him. You're penalizing the team. Because that's the thing. It's 2 ways, right? You can either break protocol as a player or you can break protocol as a team.
Well, I think
the team,
CFL,
the team violation of the protocol, and they should be punished justly.
But I think the CFL
their starting
knows.
quarterback is out. Then their starting quarterback is out. That's a gamble they took. They didn't know the protocol. Excuse me, I'm so fired up. It's the same reason why Cam Newton got cut in New England. Because he wasn't following protocol and he was going to be a liability.
But then Aaron Rodgers ends up having nothing, just this one game. That's it.
Yeah. And they should be pissed about that they are. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers should be suspended for the year.
Yeah. I think that, he should have been able to at least voice his opinion and say, I'm not going to concentrate on this. I don't think the team was right by shoving them into that situation. And the team should have been a little bit more aware of their own protocols.
Team should be punished. If that means that their starting quarterback has to sit out, then he should have to sit out, and it's tough shit for him. He can go play somewhere else next year. Like, it sucks for him. He's in a no-win situation. But allowing him to play because someone else, made a decision for him.
Yeah.
Gross.
I just couldn't believe it. It was like big controversy. I'm like, ooh, controversy before the CFL playoff game. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, I got nothing.
All right, you got one
Can't
for
do it,
me?
won't do it. Can't do it, won't do it.
You got a one-on-one question for me?
Yeah. Does it make you feel any better that the Miami Heat lost a draft pick for their signing of Kyle Lowry?
Yeah, what happened there? Like, what happened? I thought that everything was on the up and up. Everything was on the up and up. I honestly thought that. I mean, we all knew that he was leaving. It was like,
it's a classic case of not understanding the rules. They should have made phone calls instead of sending emails. Because emails, ladies and gentlemen, have timestamps.
So it was them and Chicago, I believe, as well. The Bulls.
Yeah, Chicago's losing a one, I believe, for either against the Lonzo Ball negotiation.
Yeah. Lonzo Ball's negotiating. Yeah. It's just interesting. Because in Toronto, we knew we were losing him, and it happened. I thought that was all above board. I did not realize that there was like conversation happening beforehand. But how dumb are you to do it in email? It's like, yeah, no. They should definitely lose the draft picks for sure. If it wasn't done correctly, yeah, absolutely, you lose the draft picks. All right, you got yourself Kyle Lowry. Good for you. Hope it works out.
So if a team violated a policy, they should be punished accordingly.
Yeah, I guess we're talking the same thing now, aren't we?
Funny how it all comes back around. Just ask for some consistency, Sean. Just looking for some consistency.
Man. Oh, what a great week. We got a lot off our chest. I think that there was a lot of good things talked about. And I don't know why I just felt
if we weren't such slackers, we should tally up these picks and then see who's right every week. We should talk about that. That's something we should work on.
Yeah, we should maybe. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Because I think it would go that I think we're still pretty much at around a 50% picking rate here.
I also think we should probably coordinate to not wear the same color of shirts, because then we look like we're just going to drink Kool-Aid and go off with another regions.
Hey, but I'm wearing a Bodega Brawl shirt today. So
I know. I appreciate how you copied my style and went and got that one.
Well, do you have a Bodega Brawl shirt on?
No, but I have that shirt.
No, I see. Yeah. Well,
speaking of Bodega Brawl, shout out to our friends at Bodega Brawl. Go see them. They're shipping out Juggernaut Game of the Year. They've been at all the Comic-Cons, or at Emerald City Comic-Con this weekend. So if you're in Seattle on the weekend of December 4th and 5th, go see those friends there. Tell them we said hello. BodegaBrawl.com. Check them out. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever else you get your socials these days.
Love it. Hey, today I was enjoying a wonderful beer, chocolate raspberry cookie stout by Viva La Stout out here in Toronto.
You're having dessert for breakfast.
I know, it's quite nice. Yeah. Hey, great beer. If you're in the Toronto area, get some. If you go order it online, do so. Great beer.
I don't know that you can order beer online, Sean. I think it's a federal offense.
I think in Ontario you could. It's in Gravenhurst, Ontario.
Maybe just go check out your local beer supply spot and see if they've got it. Let's not commit any felonies. Till next time, kids. Be good or be good at it.
Righto.
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at guysbeersports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.